The UN Security Council will discuss human rights conditions in North Korea Friday, applying greater pressure on Pyongyang to improve on the issue. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's uncle, Lee Kang, in asylum in the U.S., said he fled North Korea in fear of a power struggle in an interview with KBS. And even with the soaring popularity of reality shows about fathers and their children, Korean men still lag behind when it comes to household chores and childcare. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Thursday, December 10th. I'm Luke Clary. The UN Security Council will discuss human rights conditions in North Korea Friday. This is the second Security Council session on human rights violations in the North, following one held last year. And it appears that the Council members will begin to apply greater pressure on Pyongyang to improve on the issue.
Human rights conditions in North Korea were first adopted as an official agenda of the UN Security Council in December of last year. The Security Council decided to discuss the matter again on Friday. This is the second straight year that human rights violations in North Korea have been tabled at the UN's top decision-making body. Previously, 9 out of 15 permanent and non-permanent members of the Security Council had called for the meeting. In fact, the United States, this month's Council Chair nation, emphasized that human rights crimes in North Korea must be rectified. However, China, another permanent member, countered that the Security Council should not handle human rights issue of another country, and that situations surrounding the Korean Peninsula must be taken into account as well.
局势，朝鲜半岛的局势呢出现紧张，应该真正的有利于维护半岛的和平与稳定。
The Security Council is scheduled to meet on Friday, ahead of the introduction of a resolution on North Korean human rights at the UN General Assembly's plenary session next week. However, the path to actually passing a Security Council resolution remains rough, as China and Russia have veto power. It was in fact these two permanent members which had opposed the adoption of last year's resolution.
The U.S. government has approved the export of 21 technologies required for the development of South Korea's homegrown fighter jet, dubbed the KF-X. Still, the two sides have to hold negotiations on the details.
During a visit to the States last week, a South Korean delegation engaged in intense three-day negotiations with the U.S. on the transfer of technologies for the development of the South Korean KF-X fighter jet. The negotiations were aimed at obtaining confirmation from the U.S. on the matter of transferring 21 technologies, excluding 4 core technologies the U.S. previously refused to share. The Ministry of National Defense said that the U.S. agreed at the negotiations to transfer 21 technologies under a broad framework. The 21 technologies include items that require U.S. State Department approval, such as an electronic aviation system operation program and controller design for aerial refueling. The U.S. government reportedly completed the approval process late last month. It appears that the KF-X project will take a considerable amount of time, since it remains unclear whether South Korea can domestically develop the 4 core technologies the U.S. refused to transfer.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's uncle, Lee Kang, who is currently living in asylum in the U.S., granted an interview to KBS. He said that the current leader's mother's real name is Ko Young-hee, and that he and his wife, the younger sister of Kim's mother, sought asylum in America for fear of power struggle. Here's more.
North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is known to have studied in Bern, Switzerland, from 1996 to 2000. Lee Kang, married to Kim's aunt Ko Yong-suk, said that it was his wife who stayed in Switzerland to look after the teenage Kim. He remembers that the young Kim liked sports and had a fiery temperament. For the controversial issue of the real name of Kim Jong-un's mother, he said that it's Ko Yong-hee, not Ko Young-hee, adding that his wife, the younger sister of Kim's mother, is named Ko Yong-suk. In fact, the name Ko Yong-hee was listed among the Mansudae art troupe members published in the Nodong Shinmun in 1972, and in an essay written by the sisters' father, Ko Kyung-taek, Ko Yong-suk was the name of the third daughter. Lee said that he and his wife defected to the United States in 1998 to treat his illness and escape from the ruthlessness of the Kim family's rule.
권력의 부상함이라 할까, 권력의 비정함이라 할까, 언니, 이런 것들이 소득되면서 권력 가운데 있는 게 좋지는 않을 거라고 생각이 계속 들더라고요.
However, Lee Kang evaded answering any questions about political issues, such as the execution of the young Kim's other uncle, Chang Song-taek.
Hyundai Motor has launched a supersized, higher-end version of its Genesis sedan. The South Korean car maker has thrown down the gauntlet with international producers of prestigious cars. The question is whether Hyundai can succeed in the global luxury car market as a relative newcomer to the market.
This is the EQ900, ambitiously launched as the first model under the Genesis brand and aimed at the global market. Hyundai Motors explained that the new car is an embodiment of cutting-edge technology developed by 1,200 exclusive researchers over a period of 5 years. The EQ900 is capable of recognizing the distance between cars and traffic lanes to run autonomously. It also sports other state-of-the-art technologies, such as shock sensors on the sides that are activated while reversing. The sedan is equipped with 9 airbags, and the position of the seat is automatically adjusted upon entering the driver's height and weight. More than 10,000 units have already been reserved. Hyundai plans to launch the vehicle for the global market next year, with a sales goal of over 20,000 units.
세계의 최고급 명차들과 당당히 경쟁해 나갈 것입니다.
Experts say that it is a matter of urgency for the car maker to establish the Genesis luxury brand in order to survive in the global luxury car market dominated by the likes of Mercedes-Benz and BMW. Starting with the EQ900, Hyundai Motors will release 6 new models in the Genesis brand, including an SUV, by 2020.
With the soaring popularity of reality shows about raising children, it's no longer strange to see fathers taking care of their kids. However, the number of hours spent on household chores or childcare by Korean men is still among the lowest in the OECD. Here's what's needed to get more fathers involved in raising children.
It's still early in the morning, but office worker Yoo Hyun-soo is busy getting his daughter ready for preschool. Since his wife works as well, it fell on him to shuttle the girl between home and school.
그러니까 아침에 한 30분에서 1시간 정도를 같이 있었어요. 그러다 보니까 애랑 유대 관계가 굉장히 좋아졌어요.
But it's not easy to take time out for his daughter when he's swamped with work. Last year, some 3,400 males, or only 4.6% out of roughly 76,000 people, took time out for childcare leave. That figure illustrates that mothers take on a big share of childcare. Also, social perceptions and accommodations remain inconsiderate toward men who look after their children.
백화점이나 어떤 놀이공원이나 기저귀 가는 곳은 수요실 안에 있거든요, 우리나라가. 근데 아빠 출입 금지라고 많이 되어 있는 부분들이 많아요.
A variety of support programs are needed to encourage women to manage both their families and careers, and more men to be involved in their children's upbringing.
Established with government support, small movie theaters serve as a good cultural center for residents of rural villages. Rural residents no longer have to travel to distant urban centers to keep up with new movies. Here's more.
From elderly couples to excited children, this theater is crowded with eager moviegoers. The scene is not much different from that found in urban cinemas, but this small movie theater was opened in a frontline region in Gangwon province.
어미선을 꼭 붙잡고
아이들 좋은 영화 들어오면 같이 보면서 영화에 대해서 아이들하고 토론도 할 수 있고.
Despite having only 1 or 2 screens, such small movie theaters serve as fine gathering places for local residents, screening the latest releases every day at affordable prices. Since opening a year ago, this movie theater has attracted 65,000 viewers, 2.4 times more than the entire population of Hwacheon County. As part of a government culture project, small movie theaters have opened in regions with smaller populations, with financial support amounting to nearly $850,000. A total of 18 small movie theaters have opened across the nation since last year. 18 more will open next year, reducing the number of local regions without a cinema to approximately 60.
The Korean board game Paduk has become a hit in kindergartens. More Paduk classes will likely be provided to young children, as studies show that Paduk promotes social skills and self-control.
Once a week, children at this kindergarten learn how to play the Korean board game Paduk. The children can easily learn the game thanks to interesting educational materials such as comics. Today's teacher is a renowned Paduk player, Choi Chol-han, who's reached the top rank of 9th dan.
유치원 바둑 수업이 신나고 재미있어요.
A growing number of kindergartens in the nation are providing Paduk classes to children these days, as the game is known to greatly promote cognitive development in children. Currently, Paduk classes are taken by some 5,000 children in 150 kindergartens and some 30,000 elementary school students as an extracurricular activity under the auspices of the Korea Paduk Association. One of the latest studies says that Paduk has a profound effect on the cognitive and social development of young children. A survey conducted on some 500 young children for 8 months showed that those who played Paduk had better self-control as well as stronger social and leadership skills.
아이들과 함께 교감하면서 자신의 욕구를 절제하고 그리고 충동성을 억제하는 등의 활동들을 반복적으로 함으로써 유아의 자기조절 능력이 향상됐다고 해석할 수 있습니다.
The traditional Korean board game is seeing renewed popularity thanks to its rising popularity among young people.
The sci-fi classic Star Wars is back after 10 years. The director and cast came to Korea to promote the film ahead of its debut. Here's more from the world of culture.
There are stories about what happened.
Breathtaking spaceship flights, intense battles, mysterious lights emanating from lightsabers. Star Wars, which wrote a new chapter in the history of science fiction, is soon to meet with its fans yet again for the first time in 10 years since the release of the previous installment. The new movie is set 30 years after Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Although the plot of the 7th film unfolds around new characters, many of the previous cast members, such as Harrison Ford and actors who played Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia, also appear in the latest release.
There's quite a bit that's new, but it feels like it's coming very much from the DNA of what George Lucas created.
Singer Lee Moon-se is to release 2 new songs in mid-December, including A Christmas Carol. The new carol targets people of several generations and was written in collaboration with other musicians. Singer-rapper Yoon Mi-rae will release a new single on December 14th. Yoon will make a comeback with a sad ballad that befits the atmosphere of winter.
We now continue our series on exercise in the winter. Now, did you know that your face actually tends to get bigger as you age? Here are some tips on how to help turn a face with sagging and puffy skin into one that's smaller and more elastic.
For some time, a face with a small and slender contours has been equated with beauty in Korea. But in reality, it turns out that the face gets larger as people age.
나이가 먹고 주름이 생기니까 얼굴이 늘어나서 얼굴이 커졌지. 이렇게 넙죽하게 됐어요.
The fact is that skin starts to age rapidly after the late 20s.
나이가 들면서 피부 속의 탄력을 담당하는 콜라겐과 탄력 섬유가 분해가 됩니다. 이러면서 밀착되어 있던 피부 조직이 느슨해지게 되고요. 옆으로 벌어지고 아래로 처지는 등 얼굴이 크게 됩니다.
Preventative care is the most important in maintaining the suppleness in the face. Here's a housewife who claims that her face has gotten larger with age.
이게 제 20대 모습이거든요.
It does appear that her jaw muscles have become more developed than before.
얼굴 근육은 표정을 짓는 방법 이외에는 스스로 운동할 수가 없어 노화가 빠르게 진행되기 때문에 꾸준한 피부 운동을 통해 얼굴이 커지는 것을 막을 수 있습니다.
Here are some exercises that can make the facial skin more springy. Relax the face and puff out the cheeks like a balloon. Puff out each cheek alternatively to stimulate the cheek muscles. Next, stretch out and then tighten the mouth muscles as much as possible. Repeat this movement 4 or 5 times.
집에 있는 스타킹과 탁구공으로 할 수 있는 간편한 얼굴 근육 운동을 알려드릴게요.
The next exercise can tighten the overall contour of the face. Place a stocking on the chin while breathing in, and then pull up the stocking as you breathe out.
이렇게 간단한 운동이라면 집에서 꾸준히 해서 작은 얼굴에 도전해보고 싶어요.
Try these simple exercises to tighten up the sagging face muscles and smooth out the shape of your face this winter.
남들도 모르게 서성이 다 울었지. 지나온 일들이 가슴에 사무쳐 텅 빈 하늘 밑 불빛들 켜져 가며.
And now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you again at the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.